Folks, welcome back to another episode of the Keep Going podcast with Vin Kennedy. I'm your host, Vin Kennedy. Today we have a repeat guest, and she's getting awkward. She's getting awkward to start, so here we are.
I'm trying. It's just the camera makes it
weird.
But
you've been here before, so
I know,
act like you've been here before.
I'm trying.
All right, so we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a little Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
She's been prepped with the questions. She's been going over them.
Some of them I don't know still.
It's like a middle school social studies class. I mean, the way she's just been prepping and trying to get ready for it.
Taking some notes. I actually don't have any notes.
We're gonna dive right into it. So, the question you didn't want to start with. What's one question you would ask God? We're gonna start right there.
So I think that I would ask him why there's evil in the world. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Like, why is there evil?
What sparks that question? Like, what are you thinking of?
Because I feel like I'm a very nice person, but I feel like I have, give or take.
Okay.
But a lot of people that I've encountered, like, I feel like they don't have the same, like, heart that I do, and I feel like sometimes it's like, I just don't get how other people think, you know what I mean? Because of, like, they think more selfishly than I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess maybe not evil, but like I guess why there's like selfishness.
Yeah. Okay.
In the world.
Solid.
You got anything there?
As far as like my answer?
Yeah. Like, what do you think?
As far as what you said, or my answer to the question?
Yeah. First, what I said, and then.
No, I think it's fair. I think it speaks to who you are as a person. Like, you're very selfless, and I think you're right. That is rare, and I think a lot of people look out for themselves and tend to put themselves first. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, it makes sense. And then as for the answer is, I guess I would ask, like, why people are, I don't want to say why people are taken so young. You know what I mean? Like, if they have so much more life to live, why do people pass away early? I understand older in life, you've lived a full life, but younger is something I've personally just never understood. And I know everything teaches you lessons and gets you ready for new chapters and new stuff, but I just never understood, like, even I went to St. John Vianney, lost like 3 kids my freshman year of high school. Like, I'll never understand that.
Yeah, or even like, I have a friend of mine who lost a cousin at a young age.
Right.
And like, he also spent like his last like 2 years of life sick. Right. So he didn't even really live those years.
Yeah.
And then before that, he was 8 at the time he passed. So he was like 6 or 7 when he got sick. So it's like you start talking at like 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. So it's like he had years of life, but they're quality, but they're just not like he never got to experience like prom or like driving a car for the first time or getting married or like dating anyone or like first kiss, like all these little like milestones.
First kiss.
I don't know. I think it's like a little exciting thing.
Right.
I know it is a weird.
All right, on to the next one. What's your biggest personal adversity that you faced?
Okay, so I would say my mind. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Like battling your own mind?
But battling my own mind, because I've always overthought a lot, and it ends up like resulting in me like not enjoying experiences as much as I should, or just not, like, for a while it wasn't allowing me to like live up to my full potential because I would limit myself by limiting my mind. Even like with running and stuff like that. Like, I think in the past, like when I didn't train for anything, I used to be like, okay, I'm gonna run like 3 miles, and then like I would be at 1 and I'd be like, you know what, maybe I'll just run 2, and then I used to just run 2.
Right.
But it's like I had that mindset, like I could have done 3. Like, why did all of a sudden I limit myself? And then it's funny because once I did the half marathon, it all changed, and I realized I was like, I'm capable of so much more. And it's that almost like, it was like a snowball effect in my whole life though, because then I was kind of like, I'm capable of more in my like work life, in my social life, in like, just, I don't know, it like...
You're not sure if you've watched any of the podcasts that go into this on like almost every episode.
No, I know.
But yes, it has a trickle effect. What do you think? So obviously you said the half marathon, but like, what made you have the self-belief to know or to accomplish the half marathon? Like, what changed that? Like, obviously you said you used to run, you say I'm going to run 3 miles, you run 1, and you're like, okay, I'm good here. Like, what do you think was actually the pushing force to change?
Well, I think I kind of just like, I realized that I could be the change in my own life instead of people believing in me. Because I feel like you, mom and dad, Janine, my friends, they've, like, everyone's always believed in me. But, like, I think that, like, you can't get to where you want to be unless you want to get there yourself and, like, you actually put in the work yourself. Because so many people will be like, oh, like, I wish that, like, I could be like you. Like, even with real estate, a lot of people are like, that's awesome that you're doing that. Like, you're taking this risk. And they're like, I wish I could do something like that. And I literally look at them and I'm like, well, why wouldn't you?
Right, like you can.
And I'm like, you absolutely can. And they're like, no, but like this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but I literally got a degree in a completely different thing. And I didn't let that like change what, like me not doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ended up doing it because I knew that in the end, like this is where I was supposed to be.
So it's almost like obviously you've had supporting cast, you've had people believe in you, but like buying into believing in yourself.
I think it's so important. Like, they would say you like build confidence by keeping promises to yourself, like we said in the other podcast I was in. And yikes. I think because of that, like I kept these little promises to myself, and it's so funny because I don't think I would have ever done real estate if it wasn't for that half marathon, which is so weird because what do they have to do with each other? But it's like, it just
everything
ended up connecting, and it like, you know, shaped my whole life.
Yeah. I'll answer every one of my own as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's your adversity?
Yeah,
oh, wait. Actually, I want to add one thing.
Go for it.
I think another thing that, like, a lot of people...
It was one, but we'll allow you that to continue.
Two. I think another thing that, like, a lot of people didn't face at a young age, but, like, we did was all the losses that we experienced. Like, I think that definitely was some adversity for us, but, like, at the same time, I think it shaped us all into, like, different... like in different ways.
Right.
Like I feel like for you like dove into fitness and stuff like that, where like mom and dad and like Janine, like they like wanted to spend more time with family and stuff, and they realized the value of family. And I feel like for me it was like a mixture of all of that, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't know, like you experience these things, and I feel like everything happens in your life for a reason. So then it's, you know.
I always say you need to like feel your feelings, but you can't sit in them and get lost in them, which I feel like a lot of people tend to do. But Jordan Peterson kind of goes into where he speaks about like being the strongest person at like your father's funeral. Like you being the one that other people could support on kind of helps you get through it. I think at the same time you have to feel your feelings, and I think I really felt that with, obviously we just lost grandma. Yeah. Like being the strongest person at her funeral in a sense, like obviously not the strongest, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's the fact of being able to pick the other people up around you will help you get through it. And then I'm personally someone, just lately I have no problem, I'm very in touch with my emotions, but sometimes outwardly expressing them in front of other people I don't feel the need to do. I think it could get in a weird like paradigm with that as well that I won't even touch on, but I personally don't that's not when I feel my feelings. So that kind of, it helps you drive through, and that my biggest adversity would be, and I touched on, I think it was like the second episode where like, I think you know now, like battling depression and anxiety when I was in high school, where I kind of like, and it's crazy to like even think of where I've came from with that, because like didn't leave my room for like, I don't even know, like
a lot of months. Yeah, a lot.
So it's like to do that, and then now it's like once a week I'll just go run in New York City. It's like, it's so cool. Like it just doesn't, growth is really cool. So I would probably say that, like battling mental illnesses and like overcoming, and again, that's all the self-talk in your head. That's all you doing it to yourself. So it's like overcoming that to see where I'm at mentally now is just really cool. What are you neglecting right now to do that could potentially change your life?
It's tough because I guess in like my business, I would say definitely I wasn't for a while, and I'm definitely getting better at it. I wasn't putting myself out there enough. And then like there was a lot of times where I should be following up with all these people, but I thought that I would be bothering them. But like my biggest thing that I've learned lately is that like I'm providing value for these people. So I can't look at it this way, but that's definitely one thing. And then I also think that you know, I've been enjoying myself a little bit and indulging, so I definitely want to like lock in more with nutrition, just because it's not that it's a horrible thing. I think you should enjoy yourself, but I think it's just like I have so much more mental clarity when I eat good. And so that'll just translate into other parts of my life. It'll help me in my business, just with myself, with my relationship. Yeah. So.
And that's something actually, like, it's funny you touched on it, because I think that's important too to note that, like, we always talk about, like, you have such a good balance with food and with, I would say, like, fun times and then being a little more locked in and serious. So it's like, I think it's also like you don't want to lose that either.
No, exactly. And it's easy too, because I feel like now it's been like a month or two since I haven't been tracking, and I've gone out with my friends and stuff like that and gone out to eat to dinner, and it's like there's nothing wrong with all that, and I think you do need to enjoy yourself at times, but I also feel like there's a time where it's like, okay, you can lock in, and that's also not bad. Like, that's good to do, because it'll help you in the long run, and it's like it translates into other parts of your life.
For myself personally, something I'm neglecting right now that would potentially change my life would be like really diving into like public speaking as a whole. I think that, and then also like, obviously I'm at a point here where I post a lot on social media. It's not no secret. I think I could really refine most of my posts. Like, I think I should go in now and like, get more solid content, get more, creative with edits, like actually make it good, instead of like, it was always like consistency over quality. But now I think I should make it quality over consistency, and I think
because it's been so long. What has it been, a year?
Not even. I think November will be a year for mortgage videos, and then for everything else, it's kind of like September, I want to say, maybe October. So not even. It really is, and I think that kind of goes into life as well, where like sometimes you just need to start with the consistency, hammer that home, like make sure that that's a you're gonna do it, and then from there like refine and make things better. And again, it goes back to, quality over quantity.
Yeah, because you're always building something, so it's like you're better off to keep going. Keep going. Oh.
There you go. Coin the phrase, kid. And what is it's kind of piggybacks. What's your backup plan? Like, so obviously currently you're doing real estate, you have like a side gig, and then you babysit as well. But if like everything goes to shit, like
everything's honestly not going to shit. It's the opposite right now.
But if everything does go to shit, like what's the plan? And you laugh because I know you're gonna like laugh at mine, because I've spoken about this before.
So my backup plan is that I'm gonna be a Navy SEAL.
All right, so like, all right, well, you know what? If we're gonna play that game, I'm just gonna go first. So my backup plan, I know that sounds fucked up. Like, my backup plan isn't like, oh, being a Navy SEAL is so fucking easy that like that's my backup plan. But if everything were to go to shit, like that's what I do. I go to discipline. I go to just fucking consistency, and I go to just showing up and like doing the hard shit. So it's like I would probably go be a Navy SEAL. Or if like the things that business ventures and whatever is that I'm currently like working through don't pan out, I would probably dive into sales and just find the highest ticket item that I could sell.
A yacht.
Maybe.
Sell some couches.
Maybe like helicopters or a yacht. Who knows? I really don't know. Obviously, you need to learn about that specific item and then be able to sell it. But I think that would be that. Or yes, I would go be a Navy SEAL, and I have a third one.
What's your third one? I've never heard this one before.
I think you've heard it. I would probably like chalk it up for a couple months and like go live with monks.
Oh yeah.
I just think that would be an eye-opening experience. Like, people go backpack, but I think like living with monks as like a discipline in another form, I don't know. I think I'd enjoy it. But here you go, buddy.
Honestly, you'd be shocked, because I always like have a backup plan to everything I do. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I dove headfirst into this. I don't really have a backup plan right now.
Well, I guess you could go back to school.
I guess what I would probably do, I would probably go to grad school and become a child psychologist.
Which was the original plan.
That was the original plan. I just think...
What happened there?
What?
What happened there?
Honestly, I didn't have that passion and that drive anymore. And it's funny because my real estate company does a lot for like children
you can plug them.
Battle... KW.
There you go.
They do a lot for like suicide prevention and like depression and stuff like that. So it's kind of funny because I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be, because if I got involved in that, then it's like, okay, everything that I did in school, like I'm still using that knowledge that I learned. And like I am passionate about it. So I think that would be cool. But other than that, I would say that, or I would probably become a teacher, because when I was young, I always wanted to be a teacher. So like I definitely would do that, probably like elementary school or something.
What's one big takeaway that Grayson can learn from you? Grayson is our nephew, for those of you that don't know.
That's a good one. You go first, actually, because
okay. I don't know. I haven't really personally thought about this one, but like the one thing that's just been like really glaring in my mind is like, if you consistently show up, you could actually do anything. Like the same way you could build brick by brick and like build a building or build your empire is the same way that like you even kind of just touched on it. Like we all have these walls in our mind of things that we can't do or that we hold ourselves back from doing. And the same way you could build that wall, consistency could chip away at these walls that we did build. And you can do anything. Like it really just unlocks this superpower of self-belief and accountability that like you can do anything. Like even the start of this marathon prep, like, you know, when you're not running for a long time and then you get back into it, like it sucks, it's hard. And like, I don't know, like, yeah, of course, even in the beginning, like there was some doubt of like even being able to finish a marathon at the beginning of prep. And now I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm running a fucking sub 3 hour marathon. Like it's fucking insane, but it's just the work. And it's like, I haven't missed a single run. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, I rolled my ankle and I swam for a week. Like,
but you still did something.
But that's this psycho-ness in me.
Yeah, but that's what makes you built different.
I mean, what are we doing?
I guess mine for Grayson would be, it's kind of like with both of us. I feel like it ties in for both of us, but it's more that, so Janine and Gerard, obviously they're both accountants. That's Grayson's parents. So they work a 9 to 5. I think for us, there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. I respect it. But what I will say is like, I feel like us two, we can show Grayson that like, you don't need to necessarily do that. You can build your own empire or whatever you want to do in life.
Right.
Like you can create your own business.
No, I think that's important. And I think it's funny. So like, not to sit here and be like, oh, I changed you. But like, obviously.
No, you totally did. I would never have probably.
But I opened your eyes to it. I didn't change you. You made all the choices. And like, I speak to a lot of people that are younger. And I always say like, people are like, oh, this is, you know, it's so motivating, whatever. Like, it's just like help the next guy. And like exactly what you could do with Grayson. Like you could open his eyes to the possibilities of other things. And again, if a 9 to 5 makes you happy, if being an accountant makes you happy, I don't know how the fuck being an accountant could possibly make you happy.
Like
but
numbers.
Somehow it might make Janine happy. You know, like all more power to you. Like I always think too, like the more simple your life could be, the more simple things that can make you happy. And not to say that being an accountant is simple and it's not an easy job by any stretch of the imagination, but the more simple things that could make you happy, the easier your life's going to be. It's less you have to worry about. It's less like you have to do. Like, I mean, I love my fitness and physical achievements, but like I have a list of shit and I'm like, I'm nervous because I know I'm going to scratch 100% of these things off the list. The issue is that like, you know, I do an Ironman, I do an ultra, I run marathons. What the fuck can I do next? Like, you know what I mean? I'm almost like, I'll always find something, but it also is like, you know, will any of it actually be enough? Like, or it's just tough because like it is, you get in that like goal mind.
Yeah.
But again, it's who you become in the process that I really chase.
No, I agree. But I think really quick too, with Grayson and the 9 to 5 thing, it's like that, because instant gratification is like a big thing in almost everything in life, in school, in work, in even like, I feel like a social life. You know what I mean? Like in everything. So I feel like that's really important to realize that like those certain things you need to like build before you can just get a reward or money or something like that.
Well, I think you need to build a person. I think a lot of people, sometimes you get quick gratification. It could be financial. It could be in a relationship. It could be in anything. But if you don't build the person, that you won't sustain.
No, I completely agree. Yeah. Because I think that with me for a long time, I was so used to getting grades and this and that. And then when I started real estate, like I was down bad whenever like a client wouldn't stick. I know. Whenever like a client wouldn't stick or like, you know, something didn't work out, I was always like going to you and I was like, oh, this happened again. And it's so funny because like now I look back and I'm like, I'm glad that all of this didn't work out right away because I learned so much and it allowed me to like grow as a person. That's why I like this field so much because I'm not just working on my business. I'm working on myself this whole time.
Self-development.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
because you are the product.
That's what entrepreneurship is. And
yeah.
Entrepreneurship is real estate. It's all of it. It really is. What's something you would tell your younger self?
What would I tell my younger self?
All right, I'm going to go, because when you rephrase the question back to yourself like that, I know you don't have an answer. Just be patient, this too shall pass. And like, I think that's what I would tell myself is like, in a form, like, it's all going to be okay. Like, just I would say keep going, honestly. Wow.
That's cute.
Nick should do some like fucking fireworks or something.
Yeah, you should.
But seriously, like, I would just say keep going, like, with all of it, with everything that I look back on, everything that like I faced, and everybody has their own story, everybody has their own like traumas and adversity, and I would just say keep going, because like there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter what you're facing.
No, I completely agree. Mine's, I guess, kind of similar. Well, it like ties into it in a way. I would probably tell myself that like you don't need to have a plan, and you can just like take that next step, and then eventually you'll just be where you're supposed to. Because I feel like with everything, I've always like been someone who needs to like plan ahead so much, but it's hurt me a lot because I feel like it's tied me to certain things, certain people, and it was like, it's one of those things where like I didn't.
It's like debilitating.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could have gotten so much further if I would have just like not been like that,
right,
and so stubborn in my head where like I was like, I need to have a plan. Like,
kind of
what's
held
wrong
you back
with me?
in like a sense.
I think it really held me back, because now it's like a lot of the people that have came into my life, like I have realized they've shown me that like you don't need to have a plan.
Right.
And you just take that next step and you're going to be where you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And it's definitely
where you take that next step, and it's like it's that clip I've sent you multiple times where it's like, you know, I don't know, there are two guys walking in the woods, and the one guy says like, I can't see in front of me.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, can you see like your feet? And he's like, yeah. So he's like, just take that next step, and as you do, the path clears, and you could see more and more, and it kind of unfolds for itself. You don't need like a plan the whole way.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like not being fixated on the past and like what was maybe supposed to happen, and just like going with what's happening now. And
being open-minded.
Yeah, exactly.
Being able to adapt, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you were to get on a spaceship and leave Earth, what's one message you would send to everybody?
I would just say that like, it sounds so corny, but like you only have like limited time in this world, so like you need to make it worth it and make it count.
It's good.
Yeah, powerful over here.
Yeah, it's really, really, really good stuff. I would just say consistency will bring you anything you want in this life. Like, just consistent action at anything. Talent doesn't matter. Skills doesn't matter. Where you grew up, who you grew up with, it doesn't matter. It's consistency could bring you anything in this life. Would you want to live forever? These are really good, right?
So, like, to be honest, I used to think that I always wanted to live forever.
Okay.
But I feel like recently, especially after seeing some people in our lives and like the quality of life that they had towards the end, I really think it depends on what sort of condition I would be in. Because if I had no quality of life and I didn't really know what was going on, and like I needed to be lifted and things like that, then I don't really think it's worth it, because like it's almost like debilitating for your family too. And
what if
yourself.
you could live at your prime age forever?
Honestly, yes, because I think that you always have more to learn, so I feel like life would never get boring because you're always like improving and building. And then I would be able to meet like my great grandchildren. Like, that'd be sick. That'd be cool.
I wouldn't want to.
I knew you were gonna.
I think that's what makes all of this so cool, is that like we don't know how much time we have left, and then it's also like, if you had forever, like, what's the point?
No, I honestly, like, I think after Grandma passed, it like really lit like a switch in me, and
she
I was
lied.
like,
She told me she was gonna live forever. She's a fucking liar.
oh my god. Okay, like, Vin's not actually fucked up. This is how he deals. Yeah, I don't. That's tough though.
Yeah, but think about it. Like, if you could live forever, like, what's the point of getting up the next day? Because you
Well,
always
yeah.
have the day after.
No, you're right, because I feel like after grandma passed out, I thought, because she always was in really good health, and then the last couple of years, obviously her health declined, and after seeing that, I kind of was just like, wow, like I don't have forever on this earth, so like why do I fixate on certain things, and why am I like so tough on myself? Like, why don't I just enjoy my life and, you know, kind of like see where that takes me, you know?
Good stuff.
Yeah.
If you could be any fictional character besides Dobby, so if you haven't seen Harry Potter, I call Jen Dobby. We had a little, I don't even know when it was, probably like last winter, we started watching like a lot of the Harry Potters.
Oh, yeah.
And if you know what Dobby looks like,
it looks like
we'll have
Vin.
Dobby appear on the screen, but
Yeah.
it's Jen's spitting image twin.
We kind of think that it looks like each other, so
No, it
we'll
just
have a
just
vote,
like
okay,
Jen.
guys? Comment below.
All right, if you could be a fictional character, who would you be?
So this is the one I set upstairs. I just think it's for multiple reasons, but I would say Santa Claus.
I mean, it's just crazy. Continue.
Okay, the reason I would be Santa Claus is because he brings so much joy to everyone. And I know that it sounds a little corny, but I feel like seeing a kid's face after like giving them a gift or something like that, like it's so nice and it's like so rewarding, and I don't know, I just think it's like a nice thing.
I go superhero like right away in my mind.
Yeah.
But I can't do like Superman because it's like too unrealistic. So I think I would go Batman because like you'd have all the assets and all the money that you could make positive change with. You could do whatever you want to do on your own with, and then you're also superhero, but there's no like, again, it goes back to like you don't have any like actual special ability. It's kind of just like you're a superhero because of like your courageous acts.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's powerful. See,
well, really, that was on the spot. I'm a deep dude. I
think mine was better, but
yeah, no, Santa Claus. I bring joy to evereverybody.
No, I don't know. I just think that's
be
so
the fucking
nice.
Easter bunny, buddy. Like, what are we doing? What is your proudest moment of yourself?
What's my proudest moment? That's a good question.
All right, so I'm gonna go to it because again, you're doing the thing where you rehearse the
keep
question back, so you don't have an answer. So, I would probably touch back on the biggest adversity being my proudest moment. So, I think overcoming and again, I don't think anybody ever like completely like beats mental illness. Like I don't think I'm completely beat depression and anxiety and whatever, but I think just overcoming it to be the person I am today is my proudest moment. Like I love Snapchat memories for the sole fact of like I look back at like who I was even 3 months ago, 6 months ago, and I'm like, wow, like I'm a completely different person, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, like the memory that Janine just sent us.
Which one?
The one when you were fat running.
I mean, you don't have to be so mean about it. Fuck.
No, this is what you said.
I know, I'm kidding.
Oh
yeah.
my god,
I'm
joking.
I'm joking. No, but yeah, no, exactly. Like I look back at that.
That was what, 3 years ago?
I even looked, and that made me look back to the first video I had, or one of the first videos. The day you graduated, you walked to graduation. I ran, I don't know, 6 miles that morning at like 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I look back at that video and I was like, wow. Just a different person. It has nothing to do with like I'm way leaner now, but like it has nothing to do with that. It's just like the mental where I was at in my mind and where I am now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Why are you saying it like that?
Because the way that you used to be.
What does that mean?
There's nothing wrong with the way
your
that you
graduation
used
was like
to be.
Months ago.
Oh, you think your graduation compared to now?
No, your graduation, your college graduation when you walked.
I know, that's what I'm
What do you mean I used to be? Please go into depth on this now.
No, I meant, oh God. I meant like when you were the 3 years ago, like running.
No, I meant, yeah, no shit.
No, I'm saying.
That was a fucking.
Your changes.
What makes you say that?
Astronomical.
Astronomical.
I've always thought very highly of you, of course. But
here we go.
But I think that like a lot of other people in our family and even like some of your friends and, you know, cousins and stuff like that, they've always, when you were like that, like everyone kind of like looked not down on you, but like you weren't the best example at one point.
Fair.
Like you used to come home like blacked out, like rolling up the stairs, like. But
I'll fall down the stairs, not roll up the stairs.
Yeah, no, you were like rolling, like hitting against the pictures. But my point is like it's cool because now it's like I see you on a Saturday night and like you're going to the banya, like, instead of, like, going out drinking.
I mean, you might as well just call me a loser. Is kind of what you're hinting at.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're bettering yourself and you're focusing on you, and it's cool. I just think it's a lot better than going to a bar, and I'm not saying that I still do it. I still go to bars sometimes. I know.
No,
yikes.
No, but
I think that it's great to also, like, take that time for you and really improve yourself, because, you know, it's not even just for you, but it's for, say, your future wife and your future kids. I mean, who knows when that's gonna happen.
But, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is like, I'm my best when I'm locked in, but everybody needs a form of balance, and, like, sometimes I get lost in it too, where it's like, yeah, I mean, some Saturdays is it cool to go hang out with some older Russian men pounding vodka while I'm just kind of, like, meditating in a sauna? Yeah. But, like, that can't be every Saturday either. So.
I definitely think so. And I think that that's something that you're still learning, but you're getting better with.
Yeah.
You know, you're eating ice cream, like, every couple weeks.
I'm eating out.
You're eating out.
I think diet-wise, I've really found a good balance now.
Yeah. I think it's now just this social aspect of it. I'm not saying you're not social. I think it's really hard, because I've even found it for myself. Like, a lot of things socially, it's always has to revolve around drinking, so it's hard, and especially for both of our ages, but more mine than yours. Even it's like, it's hard to go and, you know, socialize with these people, and, like, you don't want to, like, deal with people drunk. I hate drunk people. Yeah, I hated you when you were drunk.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know I sucked.
Yeah.
But all right, so what was your proudest moment?
My proudest moment, I guess it's the same. Like, mine would be not adversity. It would be
like overcoming your difficulties.
I would say overcoming things, but even just the half marathon, because it was one thing that, like, I ran one before, but I had 2 weeks to prep, and I like, mentally I became a different person, I feel like, because I locked in so much, and I was just like, I would run, like, say 2 miles, and I'd be tired after, like, half a mile, and I'd be like, but I'm not going to stop. Like, and I knew I wasn't. Like, right. I was like, yeah, I'm tired, but, like, I'm going to keep going. And then, like, even when I ran, like, I think I ran 10 was the most. When I ran 10, I remember that day, it was, like, really hot. I was, like, sweating. It was, like, just really not great conditions. And I was just like, I'm going to keep running. And then I remember it started raining. And I was like, I'm going to keep going. Like, nothing should, like, affect you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the outdoor conditions have nothing. They have no, like, preconditioning on what's going on in your mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, like, even so, like, that's probably my favorite. I obviously post a reel, like, basically every single day. That's probably one of my favorite reels, was, like, your progression in that, and, like, watching you cross the finish line, and, like, even that audio was great too. But it was it's just cool. It's cool seeing other people do cool shit. And it's, like, almost selfish in a way, knowing that, like, in the smallest bit, like, I was able to push you and help you achieve that. Like, obviously you did all the work, you crossed the finish line, but, like, that's why I literally do all of this, because, like, it's so fucking cool watching people do cool shit and be proud of themselves.
Definitely. I know I'm pumped to watch you crush this marathon.
Oh, it's gonna be silly. It's gonna be absolutely silly. God, I'm on something else right now.
Yeah.
Just piss and vinegar.
Sub 3.
Piss and vinegar. But all right. That's all we got, folks. If you want Jen back, let me know. I think this might be the last one ever.
No, I think that we should have more.
But yeah, that's all we got. If you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you.